mine going?
Yes, they're both going, but I'm trying to remember my intro. Welcome to our road trip. We're road tripping it today. It's AJ and Nick from Knack for Adventure. Today is day 11 of posting a YouTube video every day for a month. So instead of, vlogging our 8-hour drive, we thought we'd do something a little bit different so that we can share the scenery with you, but also kind of chat about our favorite road trip moments. So the topic of the day is road trips. What do you think? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
My back hurts.
From driving?
Yeah, I don't know. Road trips can be really, are super fun. Our buddies are 15 minutes behind us or so. We've been stopping and taking some photos every once in a while at cool spots that we see. We've been driving through a crazy part of Montana. I feel like the majority of our adventures and travel experiences have been road trips. I want to say we've flown on a plane once together. Yeah.
And I've only flown a handful of times outside of that. So it's road trips are definitely what I think of whenever we have to get somewhere, or that was everything we did in college, spring break. It wasn't this fly to some tropical location. It was road trip to the Pacific Northwest or road trip down in Utah. And road trips that's just how we travel.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And flying's nice and all, but when you have so much stuff, we have skis, not ski gear, and all of our, it's just it's so much. But that would have been such a pain because then you have to rent a car and then you have to
And when I went to Mexico, some of the gals they flew with bikes, and it just seems like a mess. And I don't want to do that. I can't handle it. So here we are driving 2 8-hour blocks, though. I don't know.
I think that's okay. If we were to fly, it probably would have been 16 hours anyways.
Right?
Total travel time.
Because you have to get to the airport, sit in the airport, hurry up and wait, sit on the plane. And I do like the views from the plane. I remember getting some amazing views on my last trip back from Mexico, but you're just down on the ground and you're in it and it feels good. And especially driving, I feel you have such good conversations driving because you're just going on the road and that's all you can do is just chat. And especially right now because we don't have service. So.
And you're forcing me.
I'm forcing. What would you say is your favorite road trip memory that we've had?
So when we were in college, we went on a road trip to the Pacific Northwest, and one of the stops was Samuel H. Boardman State Park, I think is the name. And there's a really iconic photo spot that we wanted to take a photo at. And I had this hat that I loved that my dad had gotten me. I had it on backwards because I didn't want the wind to take it off. And for the photo, my buddy who was taking the photo, TJ, wanted me to put it on forward. So I had it on backwards. He wanted me to put it on forwards. So I put it on forwards, and almost immediately the wind picked up and took my hat and flew it off the cliff. And that was that's probably one of my favorite road trip memories. Even though I lost my favorite hat. It's just a random fly fishing outfitter hat that my dad had gotten me. And then on that same trip, we stayed at this really cute little beach cottage it was really fun. And it was raining the whole time, but it was just such a cool.
I was just about to say, yeah, we planned on camping because it's spring break. I want to say it was March, and we just didn't put 2 and 2 together. That it would be raining the entire time as we were driving, down from Portland to San Francisco. And we had to get a hotel every night, right?
Yeah.
Instead of camping, and we had all of our camping gear and we just packed everyone into hotel rooms.
Left from there.
We did 2 road trips like that in a row, and I always mix them up. And it had different people on it, and but like it had some of the same people, so I always mix them up, but both of them were just so much fun. Yeah, I would probably say that my favorite road trip memory, I think it was the summer after we did that road trip to the Pacific Northwest, and Nick and I, it was a crazy route. We wanted to end up in Big Sur, but our buddy worked in Zion, or near Zion, so we went down and met him, did some canyoneering and hiking, and then we drove all the way from Zion up to Yosemite, just through nowhere, Nevada. And that was another time where we almost ran out of gas. I think that was the only other time that we've almost not made it to a gas station. And I think we were
closer.
You think yesterday was closer? I think that one scared me because, we went through the longest, the longest road in Nevada where there's just nothing for hundreds of miles. That was a cool road trip just because the variety. We went down to Zion, got some Red Rock, and then drove through the Nevada desert. Got to see Yosemite and all the redwoods.
Yeah. Wasn't that the year the Big Sur was on fire, though? And we had to just go to Carmel?
I think that was another aspect of it, is halfway through the road trip, Big Sur was just on fire. And so all of the camping was canceled. And instead of going to Big Sur, we just had to camp out in our family's living room. So that was just like a very chaotic road trip. That was one of the first times I created a vlog style YouTube video. Like that was the first time that I had put out something like that and not just kept it for myself. So I think that was a pretty monumental moment in that aspect as well. I'll have to find it to see if it still handles well, because it was definitely shot on, a GoPro 3 or something like that. Also, like the road trip that we did, the Pacific Northwest, the fire reminded me, when we were driving through, we stopped at a place called Oneota Gorge, and it was probably the most beautiful, lush, just picturesque Pacific Northwest canyon gorge. And I think later that summer it also caught on fire and was just absolutely destroyed. So
yeah, I got wrecked. It's never been the same.
I feel very fortunate that we were able to just take a peek, because it was pissing rain. It was raining so hard, and we wanted to go up the gorge and like trek through the water, but it was just so rainy. And we kind of just poked in a little bit, took some pictures, admired, and then went on our way. So that moment in my mind is definitely still in there.
Yeah, that was a cool trip.
I'm glad we were able to see it.
That was a cool trip. People definitely fell in the water.
That was me. I fell in the water and got my phone all wet, and it was totally fine. I think that's just a that's just a scratch on the surface. What's the saying? That's just a small. We just scratched the surface. There we go. We just scratched the surface of our road trip mishaps and memories. So thanks so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. A new video will be dropping every day this month. Make sure to check out my Instagram and TikTok at AJ Cutler.
Oh, mine's weird. So just look at the end of the video.
At Carnaz with 3 Z's. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and listening, and keep on crushing.
We are going to hear the road noise, which is weird because these are road mics. I specifically bought them
For the road.
for the road.